Happy Monday morning. We are back right here on Planet 417 and K-ROG Wildcat TV with Roy Rickstrew, the disability guru. We'll have him answer some questions for us. This.
I want to be your disability rep.
And you got a couple days off to recover from the fair.
I did. It was very nice. Yeah, weather was great. Tuesday or Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Of course, it rained most of the weekend. But.
Yeah, I was checking it today. I think it's maybe going to be not get up all the way to 80 today. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Saturday, my daughter had a giant tree cut down in their backyard, and they just had it, cut down. And me and her boyfriend, fiance, whatever he is, went out and we cut up the tree. And nice and rainy and cool. It was a great day for that.
Yeah,
so
I'll bet it was.
Thankful for the weather.
Oh, but the humidity, right? You
Yes.
can't escape all of that. So what do you got for us today, Roy?
Well, I thought we'd talk about service animals today.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. I've always wanted a service monkey,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
an emotional support monkey.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be...
And I'm sure you've seen news stories out of like New York and stuff where
everything.
Animals, including horses and ponies and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I said monkey. I encountered someone one time that had an emotional support monkey. Brought it to court.
He'd be handy.
Yeah, she was a defendant in a court case, and she had a monkey with her the whole time. And I thought, I'd like to have a monkey.
Yeah, it is interesting. Of course, we see dogs most of the time, and there was a story, I don't know, it was a year ago maybe, that they had a service squirrel. They'd taken into a Walmart store, and it had gotten loose, I think, and caused problems.
The only thing I can think of that probably would not work good as an emotional support animal would be a cat.
Yeah.
And we like cats. We have cats, but you're their emotional support, I think. But anyway, so how's that work with a disability?
Well, we see dogs, pretty often, and some judges are pretty skeptical of the dogs, and kind of for the most part, if the animal's not officially trained and certified, it's not really going to fly as a need. The Americans with Disability Act doesn't give any really solid guidance on service animals, which is a very interesting thing. You can register your animal as an ADA service dog. There's a website you can go in and register your animal. But if you do use a service animal and you file for Social Security disability, you just got to make sure that you document the heck out of it. So register it with the ADA. If there is any kind of an official training program your animal's been through, make sure that it's known. So many people pick up animals and just employ them, and it's not that they're not helpful. They're just not very official.
Yeah.
Even if they're prescribed or the landlord needs a letter from your doctor saying that you have to have him, it really doesn't carry much weight with Social Security.
You mentioned that you can register a dog with the ADA, and you may not know the answer to this question off the top of your head, and that's okay. Is it only dogs, or will that registry take other animals?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I've had several clients bring service animals to court with them. One thing that I see in records a lot of times, people will rely on a service animal, but then they won't employ them when they leave the home. And so, it needs to be, if you have an emotional support animal when you go out, it needs to go to the doctor with you. It needs to go to all these appointments. Every opportunity you can, take it with you. Because if the use seems to be hit and miss, it undermines the need for the animal.
Yeah, and so then I guess that impacts the disability claim because the animal, if you have to have the animal, the judge accepts that, then you probably can't work in food service, for example.
Yeah, the biggest thing that comes up a lot of times is the need for the dog's restroom.
Oh, yeah.
Because, employers will allow us a restroom break.
Yeah.
But you think about if you worked in a large company, especially a warehouse, for example, the service animal has to go outside.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that turns into an awfully long break.
Sure.
Plus, it's an additional break above what you have to have as a person needing the restroom as well.
Well, and the dog's got to drink, it's got to have all of that stuff. So.
Yeah, and it takes time away from employees. It's a distraction in the workforce, and employers don't like employees that distract other employees. That's kind of the reality of it. I've got a client currently who has a service animal. It's a huge dog, Armenian Ridgeback Wolfhound, I think. 180-pound dog. She brings it in the office from time to time. You haven't seen her.
No, I don't think I have seen her around there. I'm not there very often anymore, but.
But it's interesting because it's not really an emotional support animal. It's a lift assist animal. And
Really?
It's something that you don't see very often, but the animal is huge, and she'll get next to it and put her hands on its haunches, and it will stand with her and helps her up. It has a harness around its neck. It has been trained that if she falls and she's on the ground, he will help her get up.
Wow.
And he's big enough to do it.
Yeah,
Being 180 pounds.
That's legit.
It is. It's really, really pretty fascinating indeed.
Yeah, well, I would think that would be pretty easy to get a judge to go, yeah, that's really, this dog really provides a service.
Yeah, and of course she had the orthopedic injuries to go with it. But the times that I've had people who had service animals, sometimes they won't bring them to court, the day of court, and that pretty well nixes the need for the dog right there.
Yeah, particularly for what is most people kind of a stressful event, court, but I don't need my emotional support animal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't fly.
Yeah.
I can see how that wouldn't work.
And you see that a lot of times with other things too. Canes kind of fall in that grouping too. People are out in the bad weather and they go to the doctor and there's no cane, and it's like, it's spit and snow in January. If there's a time that you need the cane, it's probably now.
Yeah.
For the additional support.
Did I tell you my cane story?
I don't think so.
Right? Never told you my cane story?
No.
So the martial arts we did for 15 years, we trained with different weapons. One of the weapons was a bamboo cane.
Oh.
A hooked cane, looks like a candy cane shape. Bamboo. You learn to use it as a weapon because you can poke somebody with it, you can smack them, you can hook them around the neck, all kinds of mean things to people with a cane. You get a lot of energy on the end of that cane. You can really hurt somebody with a cane. But because it's a cane, you can take it places you can't take other weapons.
Oh, sure.
Particularly airplanes. Airports and airplanes. And so as I was doing a lot of travel, I would routinely take my cane, walk right through O'Hare with it, walk right on the air. I didn't pretend that I had a limp. I didn't make it look like, oh, I've got to have this cane. I just carried it with me because of the ADA. They can't ask why I have a cane. And so I got on a plane one time, and I usually would just kind of tuck it in the seat next to me and try to keep it there. And that usually worked out fine. But there was one flight, I think it was to Chicago, and the flight attendant just said, "Sir, can I place your cane in the overhead bin?" I said, "Well, I'd rather keep it with me." And she said, "Well, we're supposed to stow them." And just in a peak of quick thinking or not, I said, "Well, it's my emotional support cane." And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and then I started to crack a smile. And that was it. It was all over. And my cane went in the overhead bin at that point. But that's my cane story. But anyway, I always took it.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
If you got a good cane story or other question about Social Security disability, we'd love to hear from you. Give Roy a call. Give him your number, Roy.
417-812-6698, especially if you do employ an emotional support or some sort of a service animal. Give me a ring. We'll talk about the ways to document that, make that stronger. It certainly helps your case. 417-812-6698. Have time today. Give me a ring.
Email address?
Roy@urdisabilityrep.com.
And you can send a question there, and maybe we'll answer it on the air.
Yeah, please do.
See you next Monday.
I want to be your disability rep.